Well, it's YouTube Tuesday. Got a big, awesome topic to talk about tonight. It's one of my faves. But before we get started, make sure you know that launch party week for this, the final launch party week of this first 90-day game plan of 2015 is April 6th through the 12th. So if you have not yet scheduled a party for that week, schedule one. And listen, it doesn't have to be anything huge. It can just be you in your living room with a tray of cut up bars and your story. That's it. That's all it has to be. Don't overthink it. Just invite some people over, share it. ISA always does great promotions that during launch party week, so look for those. And yeah, so make sure you get something scheduled. I know our team locally here has not scheduled it yet. We were kind of waiting to see when it was, and I figured it out. So we're going to schedule that tomorrow, guys. And get everybody there. Always build towards events. So the people you have recently enrolled or people that you want to enroll, invite them to the opportunity meeting now and get them there. And it'll be a great time. I know it will. Ours are always a lot of fun. And let people kind of see. Don't forget about your current team too. Make sure you're inviting everybody in your downline that are local that can come to these events, because it builds community, it builds faith in the product and the belief in the product and the industry and the company, and you know, it gets people pumped and jazzed to come. So get those scheduled, post in Crave Free Life if you're having them and where you're having them and all that. So we're going to talk today about probably the biggest tool that we have in network marketing, and that's of course social media. This has been a crazy advantage for those of us that are now coming into this profession. You know, 10 years ago or so, it wasn't quite as prevalent as it is now. And we're very fortunate to have this tool. But there is a lot of ways to misuse this tool and totally wreck your business. And so we need to kind of strategically know how to use social media to build our business and promote our brand. So I'm going to talk today about Facebook. Know that these tips can be used on other social media formats as well, like Instagram and Twitter. The number one thing you should know about social media is nobody goes on social media to buy something. They're not, I mean, think about the reasons that you go on social media. It's probably not to buy things. It's probably to see what your friends and family are up to. So I hear so many of you say when you get started in the business side that, well, I don't want to be selling anything. I don't want to be salesy. I don't want people to think that I'm just out to get them. No one does. And you shouldn't feel that way. If you feel that way, change your attitude, because we don't want to look at people as targets and people to get. You know, social media is about sharing your life. And for those of us that have caught the vision, ISA is a part of my life, and it's a part of my husband's life, and it's a part of my family's life. It's our business, and I want to share that with people. And I also want to share the gift that these products have given me as far as energy and things are concerned, and I want to share the blessing financially that this has been and show other people how they can get that too if they work for it. So it's about sharing your life, and we want to talk a little bit about how that can be done. A good piece of advice that I got when I first started was to find someone in this business or in this company whose business you want yours to look like. And I was very fortunate that Kelly was one of those people, because the number one thing that I wanted was someone that was deeply rooted in God and deeply rooted in their faith and their relationship with their Savior. And she is. And I wanted someone that was a mom who was, you know, very focused and lives for her family and her kids, and Kelly is that for me. So and there's a couple of other women in the company who I follow as well, because I feel that their values and their beliefs line up with mine as well. And it's great to kind of see how they post and what they post and how I can do the same. So find someone in the company, in the business that you admire and that you want your business to look like, and follow them and do as they do and learn from them. And if they've got podcasts out, listen to them, just study them, and you can really see your business kind of change in form. So It's definitely about branding yourself. You certainly don't want to abruptly change your personality when you start this business, because that's not what this is about. This business shouldn't make you into someone you're not. It should definitely enhance the good qualities that are already there. So the big rule, and I'm training, the reason I keep looking down is I'm training you guys from, this is definitely not information that's coming from me. This is from my 90-day game plan, training that I got at New Year's kickoff, that was very, very beneficial to me, and things that I'm also going to pull from podcasts that I've heard, and training we got at ICU. So these are why events are so important, because anybody can be an expert when you go to the events and you study and you learn and you listen to podcasts. That's all on you guys. That's all on your time. You should be doing the work. If you aren't seeing the paychecks, chances are you're not doing the work. Because when I don't see good paychecks, I have to be real with myself, and I know I'm not doing the work. So get to an event, learn this stuff, and then listen to trainings and podcasts and things like that. Okay, so the biggest thing about social media is that, again, nobody gets on Facebook to buy things. They're not getting on there to be sold something. They want to know about your life, and this should be seamlessly woven into your life. And kind of the way to get that done without being over the top is the 10-4-1 rule. Okay, so 10-4-1. So this adds up to 15, and so we're saying with it 15 posts in a week. Every 15 posts that you make on Facebook, how these should be divided up. Okay, so 10 posts should be not at all related to ISA. Okay, no ISA. So this is like about your life, your kids doing something at their school, or something that a hobby of yours, or funny things that you see that you share, or I don't know, very social posts, things that are about your life, things that are going on in your life that are not related to Isagenix, because let's be honest, our lives are not all Isagenix all the time. So this is just your life. What are you up to? What are your kids up to? What are you doing? What vacations are you taking? What's going on? And then four posts of those 15 should be somewhat related. Somewhat related to ISA. Okay, so these are things like before and afters, team trainings, the culture of the business of your team, things like that. So somewhat. Now you're not making 10 posts all of your life and then 4 posts in a row of somewhat related. These should be kind of mixed up, but for every 15 they should be divided in this sort of way. So 10 not related, 10 somewhat related. Again, before afters. Maybe you find a great article about nutritional cleansing, or a great article about the benefits of drinking water, or something like that. That's somewhat related to ISA, and something somewhat related to the new nutritional lifestyle that you have, or exercise post, or something like that. Something they're somewhat related to this lifestyle change that you have and these products that you have. And then one is what we like to call the power post. So power post. And this is 100% ISA-related business posts, celebrating your people. This is related solely to your Isagenix business. Maybe you have a rank advancement in your business, or you have, a training or a launch party or something like that. 100% a power post of something big that you want to grab people's attention. Okay, so it's a pretty simple formula: 10-4-1, 10 not related, 4 somewhat related, 1 all about ISA. Now, when I say all about ISA, one rule that I was told, and I have heard over and over and over again by my mentors and by people, millionaires in the business, is not to say Isagenix all over your page. And when I first got started with ISA, I'll admit I was like, well, that seems really shady. Like, why would I just tell people what I'm doing? Like, what's the deal? And when I got it explained to me, it really made a whole lot of sense. When you are hashtagging Isagenix, or you're talking about Isagenix, or you're using the word all the time instead of using like nutritional cleansing or nutritional rebalancing or whatever you want to use, people that are lurking, and you may not think you have lurkers, but you have people that are all the time looking at your page, and that you may not even know that are on your page. If you just throw up Isagenix, you throw up ISA, someone can very easily Google Isagenix and learn. If you Google something, you're going to get the good, the bad, and the ugly. And a lot of the bad and the ugly aren't even true articles or things. Or even worse, they can find it, they'll Google it and see the price and not understand the benefits and then just rule it out because of price. So what we want to be doing with our Facebook is creating curiosity and creating an invitation of, so to speak, of someone to say, hey, what is going on with you? Like, what is up? What are you doing? And open the door for you to share kind of how this has changed your life and how it's changed your finances. Now, if it has not changed your life or your finances, I want you guys to do kind of some tough love on yourself and see what you're doing or not doing. I had to do this very early on, and I have to give myself kind of a reboot a lot. And when I'm not seeing the results with the products and with the business that I want, it always falls back to something that I'm not doing right. My sister and I and another team member of mine just had this conversation today where I have really slacked off with my product usage. And I always have a shake at breakfast, but I had slacked off doing my cleanses or slacked off doing my second shake of the day. And I feel it. And I feel the difference, the lack of energy that I've got all of a sudden, that ickiness that I'm feeling. And so I've recommitted and I'm starting another 30-day tomorrow. But I had to do a reality check and say, well, I'm not getting results because I'm not even doing it properly. Same with your business. If you're not seeing cycles, chances are you're not talking to people about this. Chances are you're not pouring into your team, and you're not calling and checking up on your team members, and you're not doing those things. So you really got to do a gut check and a business check with that stuff. This Facebook is meant for people to kind of look into your life. And if Isagenix is a big part of your life, and if it's becoming a business that you really want to let people know about it, then weave it into your Facebook. Weave it into your life. 10-4-1. That's a very simple formula to kind of show people about what this could do for them and create curiosity. Let people kind of come to you and say, hey, what's going on? What's different? It's just a great tool. Now, I personally used to always have a private Facebook. When I started my business, I made my profile public, and I use hashtags a whole bunch. A hashtag, the pound symbol, as my pops would say, or my mom. The hashtags are really important because you're creating a culture and you're creating a vibe with your team. We do hashtag Team Crave a lot, hashtag Crave Free Life, hashtag Start Your Life for you 18 to 35 year olds. It creates this community, and it creates a brand, and you should be using that. And let's just say random person on Facebook, hashtag, they search for hashtag nutrition or hashtag weight loss. If you're hashtagging your posts, then when they search for that hashtag, your posts are going to come up, and they're going to check them out. Now, if you have a public profile, there's ways that you can click and only share with friends certain posts, or only share. So it doesn't have to mean that everything that you do out there is for everyone to see. But it is a great way to get some people that you may not know interested in what you're doing. So use the 10-4-1, use hashtags, find someone in the business that you want your business to look like, and definitely emulate them and learn from them, and kind of just kind of study them and see how this can benefit your business. If you're not posting a lot, if you're not talking to people about what you're doing, no one's going to ask you what you're doing. It's that simple. If you are not using the products, no one's going to ask you about what you're doing, what you're using. If you're not letting people know what's up in your life, and how are you ever going to get anybody interested? So Facebook and other social media outlets are a great way to kind of get that buzz going and get people interested in kind of what you're up to, and get new people and new friends. Isagenix pays us to make friends and bring those friends on our team. So it's a great way to meet new people. Maybe you get into a Facebook group that maybe you love baseball, and you get into a baseball Facebook group and you talk with other people about baseball, and then they end up being your friend on Facebook, and then they see what's going on your Facebook and they're like, what are you doing? And then a lot of one thing Kelly taught me very early on that I've started to do is, meet new people and just Facebook friend them and let them kind of see what you're doing and let them come to you. You don't have to verbally vomit Isagenix anytime you meet a new person. Just friend them and just see what happens. And it's a really useful tool. We've just scratched the surface with this, but I'm way over my 10 minutes. We're at 15. But we've definitely just scratched the surface on this. We'll definitely talk more about Facebook and social media. But kind of clean up your Facebook. Go through your Facebook and kind of make sure that you're projecting a genuine, authentic you, and weave Isagenix into there somehow without becoming someone that you don't want to be. I mean, you do not want to be fake. This is not about being fake. This is just about weaving in your new lifestyle into your life and your current, what you're doing now. So yeah, one little tiny tidbit before I sign off is leave the rants off of Facebook. Like, there's just no reason for you to be ranting about things, and it's not a good look on anybody. So try and stay away from that, because you definitely don't want to be projecting an image where you're trying to help people, but then you're blessing out some guy that cut you off in traffic. I mean, it seems kind of weird. So anyway, those are my thoughts. Again, take them with a grain of salt, but this is definitely what I have learned from millionaire mentors. So like I said, when I try and find someone that I want to emulate, and that's who I kind of follow my business plan after. So that's what I've learned, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So definitely use these tools and this kind of guideline, and yes, I hope this helps and helps grow your business. So post any questions you have about Facebook if you're confused, and again, we'll talk about this, I'm sure, in videos to come. But definitely 10-4-1, use it, love it, learn it, live it, love it, something like that. I'll see you next week.